The dangerous consequences if their abuse of power is left unchecked. Today, an oligarchy is taking shape in America of extreme wealth, power, and influence that literally threatens our entire democracy, our basic rights and freedoms, and a fair shot for everyone to get ahead. We see the consequences all across America.
So while this warning has been on the minds of every American, Trump had his inauguration today, where he was surrounded by some of the richest people in the world. And this has brought even more attention to Biden's warning, as seen in this CNN clip.
I don't know if we control the feed or not, but it's really remarkable to see these tech CEOs or founders, in the case of Jeff Bezos, the founder of Amazon, standing alongside members of the Trump cabinet.
They got better seats than some members
well,
of the
it's
cabinet,
just it's just remarkable. I can't help but think that if this had happened 4 years ago or 12 years ago, it would have been something of a scandal for these people who control information in the United States and the world. The CEO of Google, Sundar Pichai, who's there, as well as Bezos, the founder of Amazon, and Tim Cook, the CEO of Apple, and Elon Musk from X, and not to mention all the federal contracts he has with because of SpaceX, all of them standing amidst members of the president's would-be cabinet, not yet confirmed.
And these are a group of people. Joe Biden, in his very last address to the American people, warned make up effectively an oligarchy.
And for people who don't know what an oligarchy is it is the idea of wealthy individuals, often business owners in the private sector, who essentially have control over the government as a result of their wealth.
So I think Trump is going to be surprised about this because he was not expecting Biden to bring attention to this at all. And now everyday people who really only watch a few bits of the corporate news are now going to be waking up and seeing just how corrupt the government, especially Trump's government, is going to be. And I think it's only a matter of time until average everyday Americans realize that it's a giant rich party that we're not invited to. And this is bound to reflect poorly with the people who specifically voted Trump in to lower their prices. Very ironic, isn't it? When they see that he isn't doing anything but help himself and his rich buddies, they will remember Biden's warning and realize that we were right all along. But in the meantime, it's so important that we continue to fight for what's right, which is why this brutal surprise that Trump and Musk were hit with, Donald Trump and Elon Musk have just been hit with a brutal surprise just seconds after Trump's inauguration. And it's not only ironic, but also very sad because it shows us that this is just the beginning. So in this video, we're going to be going into what this brutal legal surprise is, but first, I want to take a minute to talk about another surprise that is currently hitting Donald Trump and his rich buddies. Over the past few days, we have seen more and more people talk about the dangers of the rich few at the top, and I think this is something indicative of something larger. You see, us on the left have been warning about this for a long time now, but since Biden gave his final address and specifically warned of an oligarchy, everyone, including the corporate media news, sort of had to talk about it.
I want to warn the country of some things that give me great concern. This is a dangerous and that's a dangerous concentration of power in the hands of a very few ultra-wealthy people.
And his administration over plans to launch the Department of Government Efficiency, or DOGE, under the leadership of Elon Musk. The lawsuit accuses Trump of allowing DOGE to operate outside of legal guidelines established by the Federal Advisory Committee Act, which requires public involvement in advisory committees. The plaintiffs say that DOGE has been operating like an advisory committee without abiding by the law's transparency requirements. And the president of one of the 3 organizations involved in this lawsuit had this to say: AFGE will not stand idly by as a secretive group of ultra-wealthy individuals with the major conflicts of interest attempt to deregulate themselves and give their own companies sweetheart government contracts while firing civil servants and dismantling the institutions designed to serve the American people. Now, of course, we're going to have the MAGAs here saying, oh, they're coming after Trump and Musk, but really, I think average everyday Americans are going to say, yeah, we should probably not be deregulating and just allowing this entity, Doge, to just do whatever it wants without following the laws that every other entity has to follow. So I think it's great that we still have organizations that are willing to put up a fight to ensure that our democracy is still somewhat protected, even though Trump is really threatening basically anything that goes against him. Trump just got back into office, so it's really too early to see how this lawsuit will go.
President-elect J.D. Vance will be sworn in first, taking the oath read by Supreme Court Justice Brett Kavanaugh on the Bible given on him by his great-grandmother. Trump will follow, using both a family Bible and one used by President Abraham Lincoln at the 1861 inauguration as Chief Justice John Robert administration his oath. The inaugural festivities began Saturday when Trump arrived in Washington on a government jet and viewed fireworks as at his private golf club in suburban Virginia. On Sunday, he led a wreath at Arlington National Cemetery and riled his supporters at Washington downtown Capitol One Arena. A